All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Disney Dining Show. This is actually day 2 of Festival of the Arts. We were here on day 1 where we ate around the World Showcase. You can find that video in the description below. And now this is day 2 and we are eating at the new Cellier Brunch. But before we get started, we must let you know that this video is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. Let our travel experts help you plan the vacation of your dreams. All that information and more in the description below, along with our restaurant database where you can find menus like Le Cellier's or really any menu on property, along with the videos that we explore those restaurants in. But so yeah, Le Cellier Brunch.
Le Cellier is your table service restaurant. It is signature dining. It's here in the Canada Pavilion in Epcot's World Showcase. This is, Le Cellier is a reservation that not too long ago, families would say if they could not book this reservation, an advanced dining reservation at Le Cellier, that their trip could possibly be ruined. I mean, this is a make or break kind of restaurant. Now, recently, it's lost a little bit of its panache, but it's still a signature dining location.
Right.
So
it was 1 table service credit before, and now it has since become 2 table service credits.
Also, with the brunch that we just went to, it is 2 table service credits.
Yes. Yes, so what we just enjoyed was Le Cellier's Festival of the Arts Brunch. It's being offered on Saturdays and Sundays in lieu of a lunch feature. So normally our server explained to us that normally they'd be open from 12 to 9 p.m. for both lunch and dinner service. So for the Festival of the Arts, so through February 23rd, guests have the option to book this brunch. It is $67 a person.
Yep. So
yes, it is.
$67 a person, and as you can see here, the menu, I mean, is not what you'd expect, or I didn't expect the menu to look like this at a restaurant. This is Le Cellier Steakhouse. It's a steakhouse, but it's a steakhouse where when you show up for brunch, the only steak that you can order isn't even cooked. So there's no steak options for entrees, and the only appetizer is the steak and eggs. It's the steak tartare, but they couldn't even, I know tartare, or, well,
We learned a lot today.
I shouldn't say that I know tartare isn't cooked because I just looked at this item, and I guess we'll just roll right into the appetizers, but
Do you want to say first, before our apps even hit the table, we've got some pastries.
yeah.
So we got a nice little plate of pastries, some diced fruit, as well as some yogurt and a little bit of granola. Just a little yogurt and just a little granola. And
They gave us one of each pastry for
yes,
the 3 of us.
for 3 people.
Luckily, our very kind waitress gave us the option to already put in more, and we're like, yes, we want more. And
Yes.
fortunately, she was very generous with the amount she gave us for a second, but we had to ask.
It is worth mentioning too that we got these really awesome non-alcoholic drinks. It was the raspberry blitz, but on the menu it wasn't even included on there, so we thought this was a huge pro that we were offered these awesome drinks. On the menu it said you could choose coffee or one of your alcoholic offerings.
Have a mimosa.
But once you ordered this off-menu raspberry blitz, not only could you not get a refill without getting an additional charge, but if you asked for a cup of coffee, that was also not included either.
Yeah.
And this is for a $67 brunch where essentially it was a bunch of pastries.
Yeah, so the raspberry blitz was delicious. It was ginger ale and raspberry puree and a splash of lime, and it was cool and refreshing, but there were no refills. And you're going to kind of start to pick up as we break down this dining experience, the fact that the price maybe did not match up with what was served. So yes, we had pastries, and then we went into appetizers, and Fiasco had an educational moment here.
So
I think, go ahead.
Yeah, so just looking at the appetizer menu, there was 4 offerings, none of which, except for the steak and eggs. That was the first thing I looked at, was steak and eggs. Okay, I can get behind some steak and eggs, and just glazing over what is included, steak tartare, not really thinking too much into it. But besides that, there's absolutely nothing on the appetizer menu that I want to eat at all.
It was pretty limited.
Yeah, it was very. We've been talking a lot about the food carts here at the Arts Festival being approachable. This brunch menu is not. And so I ordered the steak and eggs thinking that, I like steak and eggs. Come to find out that yes, it is steak tartare, and steak tartare is not cooked.
No
which
heat going on there.
Denny said just, try, what did you call
A
it?
no thank you bite.
A no thank you bite?
That's what we used to do with our kids when we were out to a restaurant or at a home of a friend or a relative, and they kind of looked at what they saw and went, oh dear. We would say, okay, go ahead and try a no thank you bite. So at least you have, you can assess the situation. You've taken a bite, maybe you'll like it, but possibly you won't.
And you know what? I took my no thank you bite, and I may be partially uncultured in this way where I think this is gross, but I think the uncooked steak is gross. I think it's really nasty, and I couldn't do more than that small little no thank you bite, so I passed up on the rest of that appetizer. So.
Oh dear. Morgan, what did you have for your appetizer?
I got the cheddar cheese soup, and it was just as good as the beer cheese in Germany, probably better. They gave me a pretzel roll, which was actually really good. It was a good consistency that I was able to just, here, you can have some and you can have some. So we shared a little bit. I really enjoyed dipping it. It made it like a full, very hearty appetizer. I really, really enjoyed it. The consistency was good. There was little chives in it. I highly enjoyed this. So good. I think I ate the whole thing. Yeah, I did.
And I had the deviled eggs. This is what our server recommended, and it sounded intriguing. It came just your normal deviled egg, but beautifully plated. So 6 halves of deviled eggs, so 3 eggs total, and a little slice of smoked salmon on top, a little fresh dill, capers, just delicious. I really enjoyed the creamy consistency. It was a really great thing all the way around. So but I like deviled eggs. If they're not your thing, you might not.
And I tried one at Denny's, and I didn't order it because I didn't like salmon, but I took a little sliver off, and it was very good, even with just a little bit of salmon taste in it. It was very, very good.
So then we moved all over to our entrees, and like I already kind of skipped ahead and touched on a little bit, we're at Cellier Steakhouse. We're trying to pick an entree, and we are at a steakhouse that has no option for steak as an entree, and then like I said, the only steak that we could get was the tartare that was not cooked. Bummer there. But what did we get for our entrees?
Okay, for our entrees, I thought about going with the Eggs Benedict. Morgan ended up, spoiler alert, Morgan ended up going with that. And so I went ahead and had the lobster and grits. I enjoy grits. I have southern roots. My mom and dad are both from the south, so grits are something I totally know about. And I enjoyed it. It came with a creamy lemon sauce. I really didn't denote the lemon so much as just a nice creamy, I actually picked up on a cheese that was in there. Really, really good. There were onions that I kind of danced around, but I really loved the lobster. The lobster was nice. There were nice, just perfectly poached lobster chunks in that bowl. Now, granted, it wasn't a huge portion. Not that you can really pork down a ton of creamy grits. I mean, maybe you can. I can't. But still, it was really good and quite satisfying. A nice hearty meal.
Yeah, so I got the cinnamon roll bread pudding. I also got bread pudding at Topolino's, which I'll bring back up in a second. And this was good. I love cinnamon rolls. It had a nice little dollop of vanilla ice cream on the side, some fresh fruit, got a little mix of each, and it tastes really, really good. It tastes really, really good, but for something that I'd order for dessert for maybe $10 to $14 max, not an entree at a brunch that was $67 a person. And we're going to touch base on how we felt the whole thing is at the end, but this was good. It wasn't a nasty entree. I thought it was really delicious, but not even close to the price we paid for it. Was it worth that?
So your entree was lovely to look at. It really was. The cross section was really pretty with all the cinnamon swirls and everything. But $67, yeah,
The price was
I think so.
I had a bit of his, and it was very sweet, but not too crazy sweet. But I kept kind of taking little bits of it. But I really enjoyed what he ordered too, and then I almost was like, I kind of wish I ordered that. But
you got a bicep workout with yours though, right?
You needed a chainsaw to cut through, bless you, the pretzel roll that this Eggs Benedict was on. Oh my goodness, I needed a steak knife. I had to stop and take a break. It was really difficult to get through, but once I finally at least cut it in half, it was very enjoyable. I kind of souped up the Eggs Benedict because it was a very messy dish. Kind of went it started really pretty and then it just ended up all over the plate. I kind of souped up the Eggs Benedict and onto the pretzel roll, and it was very good. It kind of had like a cheesy consistency. I don't think there was cheese on it, but it kind of had like a cheesy,
just the creaminess.
Yeah, the creaminess of it. It was very good, very delicious, but it was very filling at that point of the meal. Like there was two small things, and looking at it, I didn't think I was gonna finish it, I thought I could finish it, but I was already really full, and then Denny got to try some.
I did. Yeah. So I recently, we keep harkening back to Topolino's Terrace at Disney's Riviera Resort. On New Year's Day, we got to do a special brunch that they offered that day. Now they're hoping, depending on how the bookings went, the number of bookings for New Year's Day, they're hoping to be able to offer that again on a special holiday such as Mother's Day or Easter. And while I loved the Eggs Benedict at Topolino's Terrace, and I wanted a little bit more of a toast going on underneath with the English muffin, Morgan, your pretzel roll was really too well done. It was too toasted, really hard to cut through, and there's really no comparison between the two in my mind.
Get anything from this entire video, what we're suggesting, instead of going to Le Cellier's, is going to Topolino's for their brunch, whenever they are able to bring it back.
Yeah, and that might happen again for some special occasions, but even Garden Grill breakfast or even Topolino's breakfast, I think are both a much better value than
choices.
This. And I think you're getting characters, you're getting a wider variety of foods, which is crazy to me, that you're going to get a wider variety of foods at a place like Garden Grill for even breakfast. Like there, you're going to get the cinnamon bun, you're going to get the basket of fruit, you're going to get the eggs, you're going to get the sausage, you're going to get the characters.
And a spinning restaurant.
And they're going to refill your drinks.
Don't forget that part.
They're going to actually refill your drinks for $20 cheaper than here.
So our meal today ended with dessert. There are two desserts on the menu: a maple creme brulee, and then something that's called coffee and donuts. And it's not technically coffee. It's a coffee mousse that is topped with a really rich, just whipped cream, really nice whipped cream. And so you get two donuts and you get the whipped cream. But our server let us know just before dessert that they had run out of the coffee mousse.
On opening day.
And so Morgan and Fiasco got the mousse. I went ahead and just went with they gave me 4 donuts, but they also did bring out the creme brulee, which that was really nice for the table to try. In my mind, now these donuts, it was really nice. I like that they tried something different and new with some little homemade donuts, house-made donuts. They had pecans in them. They were maple flavored. They were lightly dusted with powdered sugar and a whiskey caramel sauce. But I kind of found them a little lackluster. There were a lot of pecans going on in these donuts. And I don't know about you guys, but when there's a lot of nuts going on in something, it's like whether it's a brownie or a cake, it's kind of hard to really enjoy what you're eating. But I did love that coffee mousse, the bites of coffee mousse I had. What do you guys think?
I did like the coffee mousse quite a bit, but I think by the time we actually got to dessert, I was already kind of tapped out. I mean, pretty much this entire meal was one massive serving of dessert, at least for me. Getting the bread put. But at the same token, I know I could have ordered something else, but there was really nothing else for my taste. There was only the 4 options for appetizer and entree, and the bread pudding was the only thing that did speak to me. So it was just pastry was my whole meal. So by the time we got to dessert, I was kind of I'll take a bite, but
You've had just a few carbs today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we were all ready for a nap and needed real coffee.
Yeah.
But they charged for that too.
But they
so
wanted to charge us more for
that.
a real coffee. Yeah.
No coffee for you. The maple creme brulee, I liked that. I told Morgan and Fiasco, truth be told, I like the sugary coating, the hard sugary coating, the best, the most out of a creme brulee. But it was good, and I liked that it was maple. That was a nice little spin on creme brulee.
And our waitress was delightful.
She was great.
She was so
Amazing
great.
server. Amazing.
Knew everything, like was very catering to us, almost a little, maybe even too much. But she was wonderful. Very Princess Anna vibes.
So, what do we think? Full impressions of this experience at Le Cellier?
Okay, so your vacation dollars you only have so many. You and I, all of us, only have so many vacation dollars. And so you're looking for the most bang for your buck that you can get. I, in a good conscience, cannot recommend this. And I hate to say that, but when you do a little cost comparison, even here around the World Showcase, you can spend that $67 and get a whole lot more than you did for this brunch. You are paying for the location.
Yeah.
You are paying to sit in Le Cellier, which is a limited seat restaurant. It's not a huge, vast dining location like some of them here are on property. You are paying for the cachet of dining at Le Cellier. And if that's what you want to spend your $67 on, then absolutely knock your socks off. For me, if I'm spending my money here on property, I would look elsewhere. I was even saying beer garden across the World Showcase. Granted, it's not brunch, but you can eat all that you want to eat there, and you get a little dinner show. Or you mentioned Garden Grill earlier. And Garden Grill is the perfect comparison.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Morgan?
Me, since we recently just did Topolino's, and I'm a big characters person. For me, when I come to Disney, I want Disney stuff, characters, environments, atmospheres, everything. And this was the furthest thing from it. And like Denny said, that better bang for your buck somewhere else, and there's more Disney somewhere else for even cheaper, even the characters. So that, yeah, I agree with everything that Denny says, and probably what Corey's about to say too.
Yeah, I mean, so Le Cellier in a whole. I don't know if I mentioned this at the front of the video, but just in case I didn't, we just did last year our top 5 restaurants on all of property, and in my list, Le Cellier was there. And if you're gonna tell me, you're gonna go get dinner at Le Cellier, I'm gonna say,
yes.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. It's great. It's so good.
Absolutely.
But this brunch is one of the worst price per values I've experienced in a long time. $70 a head for brunch, essentially what we're looking at after tax. I mean, it's just not worth the money at all.
And when we walked in, and they looked at the menu, because I'm from Disneyland, so I don't know what the average price is for things here. They looked at the menu and they were, this is not worth it.
Yeah.
This is not worth it. Just
Ju-
by a quick glance.
Just you're going to Le Cellier Steakhouse. It's Le Cellier Steakhouse, and you look at the menu, and there's no cooked steak to be found. Just the raw tartare on the appetizer menu, and that's just like a small sampling of steak. It's small, it's sad. Yeah, exactly. It's Le Cellier Steakhouse. There should be steak on the menu for lunch, for brunch, for dinner, what have you. For breakfast, oh my goodness, if you go to Le Cellier Steakhouse and they decide to do a breakfast, there should be steak on the menu. It's the
And pretzel
steakhouse.
rolls, please.
Yeah, it's the steakhouse.
Love the
pretzel
rolls.
So I mean, yeah, just
So take your $70 and maybe keep it in your pocket and spend it at the amazing Festival of the
Yes.
Arts food booths. I mean, they have, as we in our overview video that we did of the Festival of the Arts food, oh my gosh, we were so wowed by the choices, by the preparation, the whole 9 yards. It was so fantastic. Spend that $67 having a blast with your traveling party around the World
Definitely.
Showcase.
I mean, quite honestly, if you're in a position where $70 on some pastries and like a coffee that they'll charge you to refill is something that sounds like a good deal to you, make a dinner reservation here, because if that's the case, dinner's no skin off your back, and the dinner is great. So come in the atmosphere and everything. If that's your cup of tea, come here for the dinner, get the filet, and maybe
Yeah.
do something else for lunch, brunch.
Yeah. Understand that we don't want to ever, we want to have a great experience. We go into these dining reviews hoping they hit it out of the park, but we always want to be honest with you when they do and when they don't. So unfortunately, this is one of those don'ts. for us. But if you decide to do the brunch, we would love to know about it. We'd love to know your thoughts on the Festival of the Arts Le Cellier brunch, because we want to know what we could, if we ever have to do it and get to do it again, we want to know what to choose.
And maybe, you love uncooked steak. And
Can you tell he's upset?
good for you if that's the case.
Just a little bit.
All right,
All
let's
right.
land this plane.
So, like always, this dining show is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. They can help you plan the perfect vacation of your dreams and book your dinners to Le Cellier, but maybe not the brunches.
Or
And-
Garden Grill or Topolino's.
Or Garden Grill or Topolino's or any of the places that we went to and really, really liked. But yeah, all that information in the description below, and that's all I got.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care.